And if you're joining us on one of our platforms, please go ahead and use the chat. We will have somebody monitoring that chat today as well. If you're here in the Zoom, welcome. I see Jonathan and Roxanne here. Welcome to you as well. To everybody here joining us live in the lab at the MisEducation of AI. And if you are getting ready, while we're getting ready for everybody who's here, if you have your, definitely, I always encourage you guys to have your Chat GPT accounts up. And let me just make sure that. I'm probably going to put some headphones in because it looks like the audio is coming through a little low. Let's see. Speaker microphone is coming through low. Yeah, let's get some headphones on. I want to make sure you guys can hear me. I got a lot of noise to make today. A lot of noise to make. Let's see if we can. And so, if you're here tonight and you're listening to us on one of our replays, I want to welcome you. All right. Can everybody hear me okay now? Is that better? All right, perfect. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I know people are going to come in. I know some of you on YouTube are back with us again. I want to welcome everybody to the MisEducation of AI. This is our community. My name is Julius Weems. I am the creator of the MisEducation of AI. And people say, well, Julius, why did you name a community the MisEducation? Well, here's what I realized is that after 25 years as a management consultant, working in some of the largest companies around the world, it's and working with people from all different countries and scales of companies. And really building and doing what we call digital transformation. That's just helping companies scale. So PayPal and the federal government and eBay and I really love the work. I love the work of transforming companies. But while I was in the companies, I would meet people who were super smart and they had ideas and they wanted to start businesses. And they wanted to be able to scale and do things. And so as AI came along, what I continued to see is all of these pretty pictures with AI. Everybody was making pretty pictures online with artificial intelligence. And I said, well, a lot of you have 20, 30 years experience. So why don't we help you figure out how to use AI to grow your business? Why don't we use AI to increase the amount of time to get to your first $1 million, right? And I was working in companies that were $1 billion businesses. And as AI, I've been working with AI for over 8 years. And as I saw over the last 2, 3 years, the usability of AI for everyday people grow, I said, well, wait a minute, we're missing something. Somebody who's worked and built a business for 20 years, they have so much knowledge to bring, but nobody's talking about that. Everybody's just talking about all of these little quick, I call them quick fixes. And so I wanted to figure out how to help people understand how to merge their human intelligence with artificial intelligence. And that's why I built this community. And it has exploded. I have had so much fun doing this because at the end of the day, I want people to realize that we don't have to build business like we did in the past. My first company, just building the website for my first company. I mean, just getting that done, and then operations and HR and all these things. Now I can build AI employees to run my business. I do believe that we're going to have our first $1 billion company that's one guy in a basement with 20 AI employees. And so over the last few weeks, a lot has happened. Many of you have been asking, I've been working with a lot of you one on one. And here's what we've learned. Here's what we've learned just working together is that there is no doubt you can all build $1 million business leveraging AI tools, automation, and we're going to show you here in the community. And so for everybody who's new, if you have not joined our community yet, what I'll do is put in the chat a link to our community. It's free to come in. My goal is to really bring a community together of thousands of leaders, and we're going to talk about how to think about AI. Someone asked me the other day about Julie, like, what do you think about all the different tools? I said the tools are great. I said I've been, I've taught many of you how to leverage ChatGPT and now leveraging Claude and Gemini and some of you have been, I've had a couple of one-on-ones this week. We've built out whole businesses in 30 minutes, right? Which is blowing people's minds. But the one question that I keep getting asked is that what do you think the real success with AI is going to be? And here's what I believe the success is going to be. I believe it's going to be somebody that knows the role and job they played. If it's, let's take a project manager. They've already done it for 20 years. They understand how to apply and solve problems in project management. Taking them, many of you know we've created personal identity prompts where your AI pretty much knows you. Taking that, all the years of experience you've done, whatever you've done, the candle business, the t-shirt business, the business, the small business, taking all the years of experience, putting those years of experience into a platform and then being able to scale from there. And you're going to take a business that you may have had for 5 or 10 years and grow it to $1 million to $10 million using AI. And that's what I believe the skill is. The skill is not mastering all the tools. The skill is learning how to think through how to solve the problems in your business or at your job so that AI can either help you get the next promotion or scale your next $1 million in business. And so that is what this community is about. I'm going to share tools with you. Many of you know, we share tools, we talk through tools, but my goal is to help you become a thinker and use that human knowledge to merge with AI in a way that helps you increase your value. And that is what it's been able to do. As a consultant, I will tell you the one thing I'll say, I don't want to scare anybody, but there's been so much fear mongering around AI and people losing jobs and work. Here's what I'll tell you. You must learn how to apply AI in the world you're in. The people that know how to apply it will just move so much faster than you that their value will increase. So if you don't learn anything else from this community, my job is to make sure you know how to apply AI so you increase your value so you keep the job, so that the business doesn't get gobbled up, right, by competitors, so that you are driving revenue every day. And so today we're going to talk about Claude. Many of you have been asking me about Claude, but you guys know I like to build things real time. And so we're going to build something real time, and I'm going to show you how, some folks asked about Claude versus ChatGPT. How do I move over to Claude if I'm in ChatGPT? And we're going to talk about a little bit of that today. So with that, I'm going to welcome everybody. We always start off every call with helping everybody understand how to maneuver and operate in our community. And I want to start off there because we've had so much activity happening in our community, guys. It is you guys are incredible. I mean, just the things you're creating. Many of you have built your own personal prompts. We're gonna somebody's coming in. So let's go in and one of the things you're gonna hear me say if you're writing notes, we don't prompt in the MisEducation of AI. We build instructions to make our AIs do all the prompting for us. I do not want you to spend time. And look, I'm not, those of you who are looking at us online, you may be like, Julius, what are you talking about? Here's what I'm talking about. I don't need you to learn how to prompt. I want you to bring your 20 years experience. Okay, we're going to give you instructions for how to make sure your AI automatically prompts for you. Your AI is going to automatically write the best prompt. It's going to do that for you. I want you to bring your ideas so that we can turn those ideas into revenue. Okay, so if you're new to the community, here's our normal dashboard. You can kind of see here how to get started, things that are happening. You can see the team talking about different things. Stay connected. I'll tell you, we're going on our third month right now, and what I'll say to you is that we've had people start to build businesses that are starting to revenue generate around $4,000 to $10,000 a month. Some that are doing bigger than that. Some large companies that did private coaching, and we've been able to increase their total revenue by about 10% within 30 days. And so. And then in the classroom is where we learn. Here's our classroom. Some of the things that I have in here. I have a big announcement for you guys. at the end of this. Some of you actually purchased our unrejectable resume. I did this. People say, well, Julius, what is this? Well, I created an unrejectable resume because so many of you who are entrepreneurs are still looking for jobs, and nobody was teaching you how to make sure that your LinkedIn and your resume could actually get past the ATS, which is an AI recruiting system. And I said, guys, I said, so I spent some time, I've been, being a consultant for so long. I've worked with recruiters. So I called some of my most successful recruiter friends. And what we did was I said, hey, look, walk me through this. Let me build out something so that resumes become unrejectable. And so for 27 bucks, we put this up because I knew people wanted to have a way to do that. If you have not done this, you have to do it or you will send out 1,000 resumes and get no feedback. 99% of all resumes are screened by AI tools today. So here's our calendar. You guys know every Friday we are in the lab. We are launching for our paid members a lab on Saturday. Some of them they're getting those now. That Saturday lab is going to be a lab that is going to be, we've been building AI employees and building personal assistants. So you say personal assistants? No, I'm not talking about somebody that will. Well, no, they will order groceries for you. They will. They can't clean the house, but the AI assistants will update your calendars, update contacts, help you manage leads, and it does it all automatically. We're building that as well. And then for our VIP members, we are building a whole suite of AI employees. So if you have not joined us, if you have not stepped into the lab with us in the community, please come into the community. It will be a lot of fun. And so right now we are transitioning from our WhatsApp group over to school. And so many of you know that we've been doing that for the last few months. And so, we've been slowly bringing members over and we have members that are around the world so far. And so I'm super excited about that. So that is our community. If you are here in our community, and I want to welcome you if you are new. And so we're going to start off with ChatGPT. You guys know that our community is based on one thing, and in our 101 class, I talk a lot about this, that everybody needs a base tool, right? And we have talked about base tools, we've talked about personal instructions, we've talked about a lot of different things. But now, because for many reasons, I'm not going to get into all the reasons, but we have began to use Claude Cowork, and Claude Code. And I will say that when you look at the utility of large language models, I have been personally very impressed by Claude and the output and the ability. Claude Cowork you can install onto your actual computer and it will actually do things on your computer real time. I'm not going to go into Claude Cowork as much today, but I will tell you phenomenal output is phenomenal. So let's use a case study. You guys know I like to build businesses real time on these calls. And so let's take this today. And I'm not going to go back into all my other courses where we actually build your custom instructions. That's all in our community. You guys know we organize by projects because ideas within projects and tools and documents within projects allow us to have an ongoing conversation. Okay. So I'm not going to go in organizing by projects. That's also in the community. But today we're going to go into Claude and we're going to create a project. And so Roxanne's on, and Roxanne, we just did a one-on-one. I was traveling, and we did a one-on-one, and so I'm going to kind of stay with Roxanne a little bit, if you don't mind, Roxanne. Can we hang out a little bit?
Yep, that's fine.
All right. So Roxanne, tell everybody who you are, real quick. What you've been doing for the last 20 years. Give everybody a little overview.
I'm Roxanne Pinkle. Nice to meet everyone. My husband and I, we own a graphics company called Creative Designs by Arn and Pinkle, LLC. We started out about 20 years ago, actually 30 years ago, just doing signs, carved signs, lawn signs. And then a couple years after that, we added sublimation, which is a special ink and printer that turns to a gas, and you go on hard goods, polyester, and then advance a few more years. We added embroidery, direct to film, transfer. What else do we do? CNC routing and laser engraving. And we are trying to grow even more. We've gotten busy. In 22, I was laid off from the mortgage industry, and we've kind of grown from there, but we would like to know how to be more marketable, more like when people go in to look and search for a design company who can do apparel, awards, whatever. We want to be up there with either number one or find a way to be up there with number one or number two.
And so Roxanne, me and Roxanne didn't know each other. I think our first call was what? Was that this week?
Yeah.
Yes, this week we had a call, and we kind of went through a few things, kind of share a little bit about what we did, Roxanne, on that, and we're going to kind of walk through some of that with the group here live today.
Julius, we did go in the chat GPT and was using the AI to create prompts that I could put in there to uh, say a customer, to find customers, the best customers for us to market to, besides just your ordinary uh, Joe Schmo who does a small business for making jewelry. We wanted to go a little bit further, and we actually created a little bit of a website where Julius pulled up a shirt and actually put me in the shirt. And it just says Pinkle design or design creative Pinkle with creative studio underneath of it. Just for, a customer comes to us and says, "Oh, I want to order hoodies." And the customer then sees themselves in a hoodie with their logo, or a golf shirt with their logo, or a t-shirt or a mug. Then they'll be like, "Ooh," it kind of brings more to the forefront of other items that we can do and for the customer to be able to purchase.
No, thanks, Roxanne. And Roxanne, we keep it real simple. So like, yeah, it's about the business, right? We really focus on, understanding the business. And so what we did was we went to Roxanne's website and we did this, guys, and I share this with you not to impress you, but I was in the car and we did this all from a cell phone. Okay, so the first thing we did was we just went to Roxanne's website and you guys know that this is about business flow. This is not about tools, right? It's not about prompts. It's not about. But the first thing we did was, and you guys know, I will ask. You guys know, I ask Felicia a lot. Felicia is my AI, and we love Felicia. But the first thing we did was I went in, I used ChatGPT, and we're gonna do the same thing over in Claude, right? But I'm gonna go over in Claude, and I'm gonna just paste in Roxanne's website, and this is exactly what we did. And I want to show you this because it does not matter the business. We solve business problems with AI, but we must first talk about the business problem. So the first thing we want to do is that I want to have Claude, I want it to act as and actually I'll show you guys because you guys haven't seen me talk to Claude as much as I talk to ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to ChatGPT for my new folks, and I want to go ahead and we're going to create a project over here, and then I'm going to show you guys how we keep this simple. For all my business owners, focus on the business problem and bring the problem into your AI platform. Okay, bring the problem in. I'm going to create a new project. You guys always see me do this. So this is going to be Pinkle. Did I spell that right? Peckel?
PINKL. Pink
Pinkl.
with an
I was
L.
way off. I was way off. And so what I'm going to do is that so we have a project now. That project has sources, right? Sources, you guys know, are ways that we go through and work with. Sources are things that help us understand the business. Now, I'm not going to put sources in. I'm going to go here to my dictation, which you guys know I love to use our dictation tool because I like to talk to my AI. And so let's go ahead and talk. Felicia, are you there? Can you hear me? Every once in a while she's stubborn. Let me see. Hey Felicia, can you hear me? Yeah, there you go. There you go. You guys can see my screen. I'm here on the MisEducation of AI Lab, and we're doing a business assessment. Today, I need you to be a advanced business strategy expert. We are talking to Roxanne Pinkle for Pinkle Designs, and I want to do a full assessment of her website to start, and then we want to build out a strategy for the increased revenue for an additional $1 million over the next 180 days with a ramp in the next 90. And so, what I'm talking about, guys, is a business discussion. And so, it copied what I said. I'm going to paste her website here. And then, what we're going to do is go ahead and run that. And I'm going to run this in ChatGPT and run it inside of Claude. And let's see what happens. And so, you guys know with our custom instructions, what we have is under custom instructions, we actually um, have our own custom instructions that deconstruct what we say to make it into a effective prompt. And that is the one piece that was going to make you super successful where you don't have to create prompts. We've already told it how to talk to itself and give you the best output. So it's going back into it's doing its own audit. You can see here it's going through and this is not Roxanne, don't take it personal. This is just AI. This is Felicia. Don't yell at her. But she's deconstructing the site to see what do we need to be in order to produce $1 million business, right? And so she says, hey, web audit, strategic, not just design. The positioning is kind of the problem, big issue there, not clear, da da da. So it's going through and it's doing an assessment based on being this analyst. Some of you guys know we have an AI employee called India who does some of this, but this is built in our community, and we show you how to use this, right? And so, and it's kind of going through doing its thing, right? So I'm not going to read through everything. It's just telling us what we need to do, right? And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, and I'm going to go in and let's go ahead and say, okay, now what I want you to do is to give me a game plan in order to improve the site if I wanted to build it, and also create me a brand board based on the audience is really focused around. They have a lot of business with schools, Boy Scouts across the country, Girl Scouts, school districts, and so that is their core audience. They do contracts for them, and also they do B2C as well. But their core business, and they also do promotional items and engraving. So let's take that into consideration when suggesting a branding strategy for them. And so now what it's going to do is it's going to take that because now we know a little bit about Roxanne's business, and it's now creating a game plan for how do we improve based on understanding. So headline: custom branded products and recognition solutions for schools, scouts, and organizations nationwide. It's going down on okay how the page should be rebuilt. It's giving some suggestions, and then what we've typically done, brand personality, and so on. And so now what I'm going to do is we want to get some visuals, right? It's giving me an execution timeline based on what it's learned, but now I want some visuals, right? I'm going to ask it to create a new logo and brand board colors based on understanding the audience at this point. And so I'm going to go into ChatGPT, and we're going to turn it on to create mode, create image mode. And look, I know some of you are judging me. You're saying, Julius, you do images in Gemini, but we're talking about business output, right? So most small businesses, when I was coming up, those of you who are business owners, typically, people will go into clip art, maybe creating clip art things and everything else. I'm not talking about perfection. I'm talking about driving towards profitability. And so the goal here is that I'm showing you here, when we work with clients, a lot of times we're doing this, we're digging into the business, right? So it came up with this idea. It used colors based on, you can see some of these are education based colors, and it created a logo. And typically I would work with a business owner, or our business owners would use their chat GPT or their Claude, and they would talk to it because you guys know how to do personal business prompts and personal identity prompts from inside our community. And so now we have a brand style. And now what I want to do is that I'm like, man, here is their current website, right? And so we have products and services, and here's what the current website looks like. And so what we want to do is, and we're doing this all real time. I didn't tell Roxanne I was going to do this today. We did this on the call, but now what we're going to do is say, I'm going to say, hey, Felicia, I want to take this over to Claude to build out the website. Can you give me a prompt that's detailed to build out a website in Claude, or if I want to use a tool like lovable.ai? Can you build that prompt? And I don't know, it might get mad because it knows I'm going over to Claude to share. Let's see what it says. It's deconstructing. Deconstruct, when you guys see deconstruct and optimize prompts, this is what our instructions are built to do. It's built to deconstruct what we say to make it so that um, it is something that's clear, something that's precise for the language model to use. These instructions we use in all the different language models so that our team members and our students don't have to go figure out how to do things on their own, and they have solid prompts. So I'm going to copy this prompt and let's go play a little bit. Let's kind of see, let's see what, now I haven't brought a lot of data over here, but let's see what Claude does with this information. Let's take a quick look. And then while we're doing that, I'm going to go over to lovable.dev, right? And we're going to go ahead and log into Lovable. And what we're going to do is that we're going to run the same prompt in Lovable. Now, some of you are saying, Julius, these are different tools, but I want you to understand you always have a base. Your base tool, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, I don't care what you choose for your base tool. But your base tool is there to help you then go to other tools. And so, um, so far what we've done is we've taken a link to a website and we have gone into ChatGPT, had ChatGPT do an analysis, and now we have that data, that brand board here that we're looking at, and we can actually copy this brand board down and actually show it or save it down for and add to Lovable into Claude. But all we're doing is we've asked the AI to help us analyze, are we set up for to be a $1 million business or do $1 million in new revenue? And this is what you're taught. People say, what do I teach the most? I teach how to understand how to bring business into the AI. If you have an idea, you guys know we have no idea left behind, right? Which we did a whole class on that, is because every idea can now be flushed out. My wife always said, most potential is in the graveyard, right? Because people's ideas, they didn't know what to do with. Like, people don't know what to do with them. But now, if nothing else, we can take our idea and run it through an AI that can literally have impact. And so let's go over here and see what's happening. So Claude is working. It's building a website. We got stuff happening over here. Look at Lovable's building a website. So now you think about the fact that we've been here on this call now for about 30 minutes, and um, in the chat, do me a favor. In the chat, if you're a business owner, if you're a small business owner, if you're a large business owner, if you're a professional in a company, how long would it take us to do some of these things? And it's not about building a website. It's not about just going through ideas for branding. But now that the quality of what you can put out right away to close your first sale, it can happen in a matter of minutes, hours, than months. Okay. So how long do you guys think it would take to be able to grow, um, to do something like this in the past? How long, in the chat, go ahead and put in there how long it would take. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and put in the chat, because now we have speed. It doesn't matter the business, guys. You could be, I have folks that are in direct sales, people who have sales teams, real estate, lawyers, doctors' offices. The idea is that you can spend time focused on what builds revenue for your business. And so let's see what we ended. This is what Claude came up with. Let's take a look at Claude's output. And let's see if we can pull this up. I think it's still built. It's still building. It's still structuring pages, but you guys can start to see here what Claude is building, right? So now Pinkle Designs, right, has packages, bulk orders, your partner in school spirit recognition and community pride. And no, for my graphics design people, do not come at me, right? Because I'm not saying that you can't do custom graphic designs. What I'm saying is that a small business or a medium business that's starting at this level is without a doubt going to look good and look like they can do larger orders. They're going to look like they can build out more components, and that's what we try to teach you is how to leverage AI to focus on the thing that matters that keeps a business alive. The average business or the average idea never gets developed. And so in Claude, what I will tell you, because this is about Claude, and even though I use cases, what I found is that the output from Claude has been super incredible, and it's been high quality. It integrates with spreadsheets and Microsoft Word and different platforms, Google Docs. It can now the output is just such high quality. I will tell you that I've been super impressed with Claude. Same foundation though. It's we still build in our instructions. We still have our custom instructions in here. We still, but when I ask it a question and it rebuilds the prompt, we've just seen incredible output. So um, I'm just going to kind of let these build out. And so while we're doing that, what I want to do is that these are just an example of how you look at Roxanne and her husband. They've been in business. They know their business, and now they can use AI literally by talking to their AI to build out literally a brand new website that can be posted in a matter of minutes, right? And link to everything they do. And many of these tools are not just website builders. They're able to build a back end, we call it SaaS application, right? They can build applications that customers can upload. You can tell that you need to be able to upload. You need a customer login. You can do all these things in Claude, and then Claude Cowork will actually do some of that implementation, which is phenomenal for somebody that it's no tech. It's a no tech model, and so now it's done a page by page summary of the page, and you can see that Claude is now asking us what else do you want it to do. Let's see where we're at over here. Over with it's loading our preview over here in lovable.dev. That's lovable.dev if some folks are wondering. But the real conversation I want you guys to have is really around being able to have the conversation about the what you're trying to do. And that conversation starts with you saying, okay, I have an idea. Even if you don't know what to do, you get to a point where you say, okay, what do I want to build? How do I want to build it? Compared to the companies you want to be like. AI has allowed us to be able to get to a point where we can ask those big questions. And so let's take a think. Joanne, what do you think? We got, we had another design. Here's a different type of look. But we kind of built it out. Last time I think it was all pink and everything else, but based on a little bit more information, it gets a little bit closer to that audience. And so this is just kind of a snapshot of kind of the next step based on our previous conversation. So what do you think? What do you think? You think we're getting a little bit closer?
Yeah, I like it. I like the colors. It makes the business look um, more professional, more geared towards what we're, reaching for or marketing to.
Very nice,
And
very nice.
I like the colors.
And so yeah, and these are the kind of every one of you can do this. I want you all to know if you're on here, my goal is to show you how to do this so that you can go and build massive, successful businesses and not spend all your time hiring. Think of how much money that you all have spent, we've all spent on hiring out some of this work, right? And so what I find is that now a new business is starting at instead of starting at step one, a new business is starting at step seven, right? And now that, it's not about perfection. I think that the biggest thing is that AI is just allowing us to have these tool of advisors and coaches. And in the miseducation, I wanted to start with people that had worked for 10 years, 20 years. I wanted to really step in to people um, who had experience doing much of this work, and it's just been so much fun working with all of you as we build some of this out. So let me see here. Let me refresh this and let's see what Lovable came up with based on all the good stuff we gave it. Mhm. All right, so now let's look at what Lovable came up with, guys. Let's see if we can take this full screen. Let's see. All right. So let's look at this one. All right. We got the kids in the background. We got school solutions built for organizations like yours. Same colors, right? So what do you think about this one, Roxanne?
That one's even nicer.
so, so look, powerful 30 minutes, and I'm going to give you links to both of these, and so guys, on our lab today, the goal of the lab today was really I wanted to talk about Claude and what Claude is able to do, but I also wanted to show you that these tools, because many of you are transitioning into this AI space to bring all your knowledge. Here's what I want you to understand is that I do believe that Claude is an incredible tool um, based on the value of the output, right? It has just gotten better. I will. Some of you are like, oh man, I'm just learning ChatGPT. The rules of how we use our large language models stay the same. That's what we build in our community. So one of the things I wanted to do today before we close out is I wanted to give you all an incredible gift. And so this is something I've been super excited about, and I'm giving it all to you now. I'm going to put it in the chat, and I'm going to put it in the chat on YouTube and here. Um, there's so many tools. You guys know we've been building out our tool set for just all of our AI employees. We're building a whole suite of AI employees for you, and I'm excited that we never want to become a tool business. That's not what we want to do. We want to help you become a user of AI to apply it for success. And so I'm excited. In our chat, in the chat, I'm going to post a link, and I'm going to give you guys access to um, a tool set that I'm just excited about. It is 40 AI tools, guys, and it is just phenomenal for all of you. And I am so excited because all the different things, the prompts, and all the things that you're trying to do, my goal is to make it as easy as possible because I want you to focus on what matters the most, and that's building your idea in your business. And so I'm going to invite you all to have 100% free access to our platform that we have built here at the MisEducation of AI that will give you access to 40 free AI tools. And we are going to put it in the chat right now for you guys to get your free spot. And I love giving stuff away. We gave away $1,000 membership the other day, so get signed up. We're only going to keep this free for 72 hours. Like, so get a position, get your access done. This is something I'm excited to give away to everybody. I'm going to even post it inside the community for 72 hours, and then it will go away. And so super excited for all of you. And we will continue. Let me just make sure I post this on YouTube as well, because I know some of you on YouTube are like, are you going to leave me hanging? No, I am not going to leave my YouTube community hanging at all. Let me just make sure I get into the chat there for all of you. And guys, I'm excited. I'm excited for everybody that has joined us on this journey. And let me put in here free access. All right, so it is now on our YouTube as well for everybody. And so, guys, this is the lab. We come into the lab for about 45 minutes every week, and we actually do things. We don't just come, and in this community for me is more than just coming here and talking to you about another tool. This community for me is about how to help people. It's how to bridge the gap. It's how to solve problems. And I am so excited to continue to give you those tools. And every week that we're here, every single week that we're here, guys, we are going to be hitting on ways to use AI, use cases that will help you. And so I want you to all to get plugged in, stay connected. For all of our paid members, we will be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock for your MisEducation of AI, um, uh, uh, AI tools and AI employees class. And also, we'll be back for your AI personal assistant class. So, everybody have a great day. I'll talk to you later.